Game number 11. 4 Windowses I have now. Cool. Between Magnus and Nepo. This is game 11. Enjoy with the little analysis. Did you see everything fine? All right. Game number 11. Enjoy with the Magnus Carlsen win. Going for work. Have a good work, Jenny. Have a good work. And be ready for tomorrow sub-battle hop so we can start on time. Because we canceled 2 battles for a period of 1 month, which is not so great. Have a good day, have a good job. Okay, we have Italian game. Italian game is a specific of bishop is out here, bishop is out here, or it's also calling gioco piano game. Pianissimo variation with knight f6. D3 is not one of the most aggressive continuations for white side, for sure. Now we have 2 knights on the board, 2 knights defense, where the main line is knight g5, attacking f7, d5, and now we have crazy attacking like knight takes d5, knight takes f7, fright lever attack, which is totally incorrect for black. Followed by knight c3, pressure here, castle, I remember it was d4, crazy sacrifice, and king is totally opened in the center. I will confirm that this kind of attacking, maybe we never look at it with you, but it's totally incorrect in my eyes. And I think black should choose here between 2 knights and Italian, as Nepo choose Italian, is solider and pretty even position. Yeah, it's calling fright lever. This is still calling 2 knights if you jump to the main theory. DC, BC, bishop e2. Very modern move is bishop d3 instead of bishop e2. Also quite good. Take control of e4. White's plan here is to use his pawn majority on the queen side part, most of all 3 against 2, and extra pawn 2. If you have extra pawn, your goal is to exchange the pieces. So followed by knight c3, knight e4, queen e2. I like the variation also, Bogolubov it's calling. Bogolubov variation with queen f3. Sometimes I recommend this to my students. It's well analyzed, also playable. After bishop e2, interesting fact. I just go further to show you so the theory. There is a Robert James Fisher move, knight h3. Quite interesting. In the other case, knight f3, e4, knight e5, bishop d6, d4. This is the main theory. Into knights variation, but after knight f6, Magnus didn't go through these lines by knight g5, but he had plenty of choices, so he just played d3, or close to the gioco piano, and there we go. After bishop is already out to c5, we have already Italian game. I play this position for both colors probably when I was younger, but I think Rui Lopez is more playable, and different kind of positions out of Rui Lopez, and here is quite symmetrical, quite boring game for me, to be fair. For instance, the difference is that in Ruy Lopez, after move 20, you can have a black position already, or Sicilian kind of position. And in Italian game, even after move 20, you can still have this symmetrical boring position. Depends on the opponent, how precise he's playing, of course, but it's more about maneuvering. In general, the standard maneuver is as in Ruy Lopez, knight d2, knight f1, knight g3, going to the king side pressure, or knight e3, centralized control, here we go. But Magnus choose to play knight a3, knight c2. Actually, where is going this knight now? At the same time he support d4, at the same time he want to go to e3 and d5 and f5. Simplify. I think draw for Magnus in this moment was enough, if I'm correct. Okay, gray here, yeah. We all see this to the Magnus too, but he's still #1 in the world, so don't worry. H3 preventing any jumping, and also guarantee g4 square for your knight, or also g4 f5 totally domination fixing. This rook now looks like promising on e6. Knight h2. The question is if black is able to push first d5, if this move is working. Maybe we can check out some sideline. So if d5 is possible, like white will capture. Actually, when white capturing, d3 will be backward pawn pretty weak, and black is totally fine in this position. Control the center, and this knight is a little bit out now. Makes no sense. So that's why e takes d5 is not the best continuation in this case. We have a much stronger continuation. I realize that most of the cases when we choose to capture anything, it's a wrong deal. It's a wrong deal. We have to keep the pressure. We have to counterattack most of all. So how to counterattack? What was the main idea of the knight to h2? Probably as happened in the game. Knight h, g4. But even after knight f3 or knight h, g4, black looks like totally fine after d4. We can analyze a little bit more. cd, probably queen takes d4. There we go.
Free
yeah, computer shows
Thanks
it's totally maybe not queen c5, maybe queen goes back. Queen d7. Oh, there is a boon on h6. What's this move? I believe doesn't work. There's even not a queen there, so maybe deflect the knight from the center and push down. Okay, this makes sense because it's almost forcing way. cd, queen takes the knight c2, then simplify, then push on d4. Okay. We can check out also if pawn takes, what's going on. Knight takes f6, rook takes f6, knight g4. Rook on 6th rank is quite weak, but at the same time quite flexible. We can go to the king side, we can go to the queen side if there's no knight e5 on the board. f4, kind of domination again for white side. Okay, looks good. This was the game. Probably Nepo is doing better and not hurry up to push d5. I'm not sure why Magnus didn't recapture here by knight. Probably he doesn't really wish to lose the control of the d5 square. Hey Wigner, happy to see you. I hope so you can be our board too, really. You are my hope. And we're gonna need one more board. Hope so also Tar gonna take the courage. So Tar is all the time playing in general good battles. Except the last one, but I think he was totally winning, so what's the sense? Hope so Tar and Wagoner can fill our 10 boards list for tomorrow's battle. We'll be really glad. There is a 9693. Knight f4, queen b5. Okay. Pretty drawish because also black activate the knight. Okay, so that's why Magnus choose to capture with hg, occupy this square, d5 done. It's still possible. He could do it earlier, but of course by support of the rook on d8 is much more pressure. d4, counterattack of Magnus. He tried to make the game sharper. In this case, the evaluation of the engine is showing 0, 0, 0, 0. But now for the human, it's not really so easy to take a decision where to capture, how to capture, in which moment to capture, which move order. So he took by e takes d4, what looks like the most precise, because if he captures on e4, yeah, I read this message, yeah. If he captures on e4, I will not push him. Hey, Paul March, thank you so much for the cheering. Cheers. This is a discover attack now, and yes, there are 2 hanging pawns on the way. Are you ready for the battle tomorrow, Paul March, to play against us, against Jenny? Season was great. Yeah, if he's ready to play against us. So queen e8, queen c4, and currently problem with e4. So the problem of this move is we just lose a more important pawn now, because e4 is anyway quite hanging. So that's why he didn't choose to capture on e4. We are analyzing every single capture now. Relax. You can run, but you cannot hide. Yeah, pawn march should be timeout during the battle for sure. We'll see, we'll see. So Magnus chose to take on d5 again. He wished to be the last one who is going to capture on d file and take control of the d file. So rook e4, attack. Rook e4 is a very precise move of Nepo. Very precise. There are no games with it's very strange because when I click on the openings, it's written there are no games with this position found in the database. Actually, there has to be. This is the World Championship. So rook e4, very precise moving of Nepo. Why? Because we can analyze that every single capturing here could bring him headache on the d file. So if you keep the knight, you just lose the knight after c4. You're under terrible pin. There's a c5 interesting move, and if Magnus choose, there is a sacrifice again. I believe no one wished to see this position again. Of the buff colors, but white is better just because these 2 pawns are hanging. because I'm analyzing a game. Boom track. Thank you for the interesting question. So, oh wait, so I was talking about this move. Rook takes d4. Yeah, and now black is under pin. So he doesn't have a choice between. He has to move away the rook. Can we check out also this variation, which is quite lost?
You look like my aunt.
Yes, 8 p.m. set tomorrow is the battle. I think the list is in front of you. Yeah, this is the list of the battle. So we needed 2 more players. I really hope so for Sirhan or JRC, any powerful player to take a part tomorrow. And we needed 1 more player. Strider is our last board. He has to be the first one. You look like... Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh. We have a thrower. We have a thrower. Okay, so now queen takes d1 is not really working. People move up. I don't know. So queen takes d1 doesn't really work because rook on d1 is well covered, and white already won exchange. So rook e4 is the only one continuation by black pieces. Attack the rook, and now g3. Oh, actually, if we go back to the last moment, yeah, we should flip because Carlsen is black, yeah. So after g3, Nepo chose to play then c3, d3 setup, g3, and now 2 question marks to g3. Another blunder of Nepo. I thought he just blundered 3 times, but he blundered 4 times in this match. Last blunder, last match. What's the even move here for white side? He could simple take here. Rook takes d4, c takes d4. Double pawns. They're not really double because after knight takes d5, we just simplify. There we go. And looks like pretty drawish. Queen takes d4. So guys, this looks like really drawish. Could be easy game. Easy game for Nepo. An easy game for Carlsen to make a draw and to become a world championship. Blunder queen. Yeah, but actually after his move like g3, why he doesn't really play simple chess, I have no idea. Actually, Magnus doesn't have a choice between what to do right now when rook is under attack. So he doesn't really have a choice what to do. He has to, he really has to play for this sacrifice. And now, boom, boom the knight. Capture f4, capture f4, g4, f1, check. Even much stronger in this moment. Could be before knight f5, directly capture here. Just because king takes f2, we go to the skewer. And if queen takes f2, we can go to bringing our rook as fast as possible. He bring the knight, push d6. So doesn't matter if the exchange extra if your king is naked, guys. Your king is alone and there are no defenders around. Mozart in chess for sure will not let him to survive in this case. You're able to take back the exchange, but already this pawn is very advanced. That's why everything has to be super, super, super forced. Simplifying like this and going to the... be sure that white will have less pawns than black. Rook can gain with pawn down. The question is if here white could survive. Probably he was tired to survive after this long match, especially game 636 moves. Okay, simplify. Centralize the king. The question is if this is correct, because someone should stop h-pawn, I believe. So the technique of white could be totally clear this board. Totally clear this board. That's mean find a way how to trade off everything. Maybe c4 to c5, maybe even this way, c4 to c5, and then rook behind, and then take this and this for this and this. So this could be one of the way how he could try to make a draw. But if rook c2, then you're gonna be closer to my attacking of the king. King in the hill. And if you pay, I mean, zero attention, like king f8 or e h5, I'm able to push bc. This is a technique. Rook c4. And now h4 is not really dangerous because your king is to your weak side where you are. I'm sure Magnus will not play like this, but if supported by king, just take here, take here. That's what I mean. You should clear the board and play just for 3 against 2. What is more potential draw on the king side part? Playing on the both sides of the board may make the game, make the end game more complicated, and you'll be not able to hold on this end game then. But instead of h5, more precise here for Magnus could be rook c2. And after rook c2, block out the pawn. No more c5. We can think about a5 now, or just bring the king here. As I said, maybe h5, we can test. King d3, c1, king d2. Rook goes back. And now next question is, do we really have time to do the same? I don't believe on. Even the fact that king is in the square of the h-pawn, this pawn is quite fast because there's a 1, 2, 3, 4. And the final square is supported by the rook. So this is a huge problem. So after one time capture, you're able to push it and you're not able to stop the pawn on time because of the support of the rook. After h4, probably we should push, or what? How to stop the pawn? Push like that. Also there is no time. No, there is no time. That's why here maybe king d2 is not really the best, or maybe we should go back again to the square of the pawn and think about again about this. But black could be sneaky. Let's give them a check. Now we should leave the area, and now rook behind. Now it's gonna cost 2 more tempos to bring the king, but then black could bring the king here too and push. So the game was like this. Let's go back. He didn't push c4, king e4, just push. Go behind, counterattack, push h-pawn, c6, but h-pawn is too advanced. No chance for Mr. Nepo. Capture here, and boom, rook b3, deflection. I think here is a time where Nepo should resign. He didn't. He continued playing a little bit more, I think so. And done.